When one talks of Kenyan professionals who have made a niche in the field of geoinformation sciences, the name that will immediately spring to mind is that of Lenny Kivuti. From his humble beginnings in Mbeere constituency, never in his wildest dream did he think that he'll be at the helm of charting Kenya as well as East African topographical data.
Most Kenyan professionals, particularly those who come from the village where I came from, they get to their professions depending on their peers, the people they see ahead of them. You see somebody, let's say an engineer in your place, and you feel, man, I would like to be like this guy. Something like this happens. But basically, me, I went to school in the village, barefoot, from a grass thatch. And that was it. But by God's grace, I was bright.
During his formative years, the young Kivuti yearned to work in the aviation industry. After secondary school, he went to enroll at the then East African Airways to study aeronautical engineering, but the company soon folded and he was left stranded. He returned for his A-levels, after which he went to the University of Nairobi, where he studied surveying and photogeometry engineering. But the turning point for him was when an established British surveying firm turned down his internship request after university. It is at this point that the decision to start his own firm was born.
To be able to think, to want to be a consultant, it means you must be having your mechanics of wanting to do things, wanting to have things right on your hands.
But setting up a surveying and mapping company in the 70s was and still is a capital-intensive venture. But for Kivuti, it was going to be more about motivation and networking rather than startup capital for him to realize his dream.
I wanted to start with the high-end equipment. A small instrument called EDM then was going for 300,000 shillings. Now, 300,000 shillings, when my take-home salary was, I think, 2,700 Minister of Works, is a tall order. So we agreed with the MD there, Sam Louis, that I can get a loan from him to take the equipment and pay slowly. So I signed the deal. That was a tall order because the kind of money that I was signing for was equivalent to buying 3 Buruburu houses at that moment. And I didn't have the money.
His works have seen him be key to the transformation and planning of Kigali City into one of the best managed cities in the continent. Kivuti is also currently exploring the possibilities of how the experiences and challenges gained from Rwanda can be applied both in Mombasa and Nairobi City through a database called GeoManager.
I developed my own concept, a product called GeoManager, which was a combination of the data which we were gathering there and the processes, the way they work, the way they do their land dealings from the day you apply for land up to the time you get title, and there to get title you have to build. So it's the process of even approving building plans up to construction, up to the time you get the deed plan.
Since the company was established in the 70s, GeoMaps has opened up offices in Uganda and Tanzania, as well as a regional office in Senegal. It is at this point that I inquire why a man with such a lucrative job in the private sector would want to get into the murky waters of politics.
I never wanted to be a politician when I was young. But you see, in life, there comes a time. Word was going around, he even helps school children. He must be interested in politics. I told them, no, I'm not interested. He is even building some classrooms. You see that kind of growth. So every time, people will talk as if I'm involved in politics. And the moment people talk about something continuously, you also get used to it as if you're also in politics. People now will start coming to me to ask me what I think about issues, public issues. And I'll give them my opinion.
Finally, Kivuti bowed to pressure and joined the race to politics in September 2007. He initially vied on a PNU ticket but was pushed out when the party decided to go for direct nomination. He joined the Sapfina party later that month, which propelled him to parliament representing Siakago constituency.
I can tell you, by the way, it's very interesting in politics. Far from what I thought, to me it was an eye-opener. Because you go to a decision-making position in the country. You stop thinking of your village and only the kids you help, and you start now thinking how to grow Kenya, how to model Kenya. And by good luck, it came a time when we were also looking at how to make the constitution. So you start now thinking globally.
His greatest fear is not living enough and is usually a harsh critic of himself. In parting, he says the youth need to be more self-motivated and ambitious to achieve their goals, no matter their family background.
The motivation must be self. If you do things because somebody else did them, they don't work. If you give money, like if you're in Kenya Charity, you are not likely to make money out of that. So, even my kids, I tell them, if you find me successful, you also have to work for your own success. You have to think of your own destiny. So, for you to succeed, God does not come down to work. God blesses you. So you must be the one to work. You must work, and what you are working for, you must love it.